Soundtrack Saturday, y'all know what it is. I was gonna go 2002, but we gonna go way back. We're gonna go 91 today. We tapping into a film called New Jack City. Two writers created this story. Thomas Lee Wright and Barry Michael Cooper. They go and get Mario Van Peebles to direct this movie. This is his directing debut. Top billing of this one is Wesley Snipes. You get Ice-T, which I think is his acting debut. Chris Rock is in this movie. Obviously, Mario Van Peebles pop up in it himself. Judd Nelson, Christopher Williams. It's centered around Wesley Snipes' character, who's like, cocaine drug dealer, kingpin, Nino Brown. Takes place in Harlem, 1980s, right in the middle of the crack epidemic. He takes over an apartment complex called the Carter. He turns into a crack house, and he literally changes the dynamics of the neighborhood. Ice-T plays an undercover cop, so he goes undercover, obviously, to bust everything up. He gets way too close. It gets super dangerous. It's so nostalgic to me. I mean, I love the actors in it. I really do enjoy the plot of this. A story about, like, betrayal, the drug game, and how literally it's only two options if you at the top of the drug game. It was released under Giant Records, Reprise, and Warner Brothers.
Move like a king when I roll high. You try to flex, bang, another nigga drop. You gotta deal with this, cause there's no way out. Why? Cash money ain't never gonna play out. I got nothing to lose but the game in my brain. I gotta capitalist migraine. I gotta get paid tonight. You motherfucking right, taking my grip. Check my bitch, keep my game tight.
Got the OG Ice-T in the building, kicking this joint off. It's only right. He's the second villain of the movie. He's like, everybody know him in hip hop, so this brought all the hip hop heads to watching this movie, to listening to this soundtrack. If I was older in '91, I would have definitely purchased this shit. Like, Ice-T's rhymes is a little old school, but it's still fly. Like, there's no way you could take that away. For him to go toe to toe on this movie with Wesley Snipes is really what's special to me. Wesley Snipes is like Denzel Washington, talent level wise, and then for him to co-star with Ice-T tells you, like, he knew what was up with the culture. Like,
just let me sleep. Don't wake me up till my dream is complete. Then leave me alone. Turn off the lights. Fuck up the phone.
Christopher Williams joins us today. I had no clue of who Christopher Williams was at the time. Even though he was in a movie, I had no clue that this was him. Took me a little while to learn that, but I did. He was in the movie. He was one of Nino Brown's henchmen. He ultimately, like, spots out Ice-T that he's the traitor. So he had a good role in the movie and had a hit song right here. I'm dreaming. Every time I hear this song, it's nostalgic. It brings me to a moment that I didn't even really, like, live much of. Like, Christopher Williams brought such a style to R&B with this song. It's New Jack. It's that New Jack swing. So it's right there in the time, and it feels so good. The melody on the hook is just amazing. I'm a sucker for a great melody. Classic. Great record to be number 2 on, and I think he made this for this project. You know what I mean? And it's a deep song. It's like he's talking about, don't fuck up my dream about you. You see a woman, and we create, like, the story of what she is. Before we even really get to know her, we got the story. And we just hoping you match up to that. And that's why he's, like, saying, please, baby, don't wake me up. And it's good to be woke. You don't want to just be stuck dreaming. But I understand this song so much because it's like, I've been there. It's like, don't wake me.
This is the song that water and get down. Everyone must know. In his control, I'm gonna get him home. It's time to let it show. The music is fucking. Girls are so fine. So sweet and fine.
Oh, jam. Got Guy in the house. I love Guy. Classic group. So needed in hip hop and R&B. Of course, you know, Teddy Riley is on the ones and twos. He's the head honcho. And you got Aaron Hall. You got another cat. This beat right here, this is all about just the young people dancing. Like in 91, if you're not young, you probably not jamming to this like a young person would in 91. Because I can even feel it. Like, I can see how this will make young people just be dancing. This is a joint for the parties at that time. So I'm not going to shit on it. It's not my favorite guy song. You know, the hook is interesting. They put the interesting guy shit into it. But, you know, I've heard so many classic slaps from him that this one just falls kind of somewhere in the dance record. So in that New Jack Swing is another little layer of New Jack. Um, I'm not mad at it. Goes with the album, goes with the project. Yo, Johnny Gill. You know, you really can't go completely wrong with Johnny Gill. And when I get to listening to his records, you know, like this one, you can't call it whack. It might be a little too slow for you. You know, like nowadays R&B, people don't really, they don't go this slow, like this tempo. But Johnny Gill like killed this space. Him and Babyface and them niggas, they was really going crazy in these tempo of records. Johnny to me is like a, he's almost like a cover artist in a way, just one of the greatest people. You just always want to hear him cover somebody's song or do something that somebody wrote. Just because he has that subtle satinness to his voice, he's really kind of one style with it. You know, very elongated notes, and he's not heavy vibrato. He's just straight notes on you. I like a Keith Sweat more than I like a Johnny Gill. So I'm glad that they put him afterwards. Just like if you don't like Johnny, maybe you fuck with Keith. That was a smart move because I do like a Keith Sweat style better. Keith Sweat is like less church and more like vibey with his shit. Johnny Gill is more classical. You could tell he's from the church. You know what I mean? He's more that type of voice. But I like the club young nigga version of slow songs that Keith Sweat brought to it. I like it better than the Johnny record, but it's still on a pantheon of R&B records even for him. This is one of the just ones in the shuffle of it. I think Keith Sweat was in the movie too. He was like at the wedding singing, if I'm not mistaken. So shout out to Keith Sweat just for being involved with this project. So you got a cat named Danny Madden. I never heard of Danny Madden, but it feels so 91. They put those like almost militant Public Enemy drums over light tones, which you know kind of brings you back to like Souls of Blackness and their vibes that they would bring. Kind of like uplifting, fast paced hip hop, but with singing on it. And so a lot of motherfuckers was doing that fusion back then. He's got a voice that I'm not too crazy about, but he know how to work it. You know what I mean? So it ain't terrible, but it's not my favorite one of these.
Still don't understand. I put them on the first, kick the ballistics. Come
already got a OJ sample for the Love of Money, which is a classic song. It's probably the most sampled song because it's the build up. It's like the money song. I don't know too many money songs like this classically that. So they got Levert on here to sing the OJ's part in a new wave. And Levert is just pretty much the main guy of OJ's, his son, who is Gerald Levert, who passed RIP to Gerald, and it's two other members of the group he came out with. And I didn't even hear much of Levert, like the group. But I'm sure they dope as fuck. And they did their thing on here. Like this shit is dope. They put the hip hop drums on it. This is a theme of the movie. Like as soon as you hear it, you think of the movie. And then you got the Queen. You know, she had to bless it. And Queen was in that like changing shit state at this point. She wasn't just giving rah rah records, and really all of her records is like that. Very like socially aware. Um, she was a bombshell to everything.
I've been waiting for you to just hold me close to me. 'Cause I've been dying for you, girl, to make love to me. Girl, you make me feel real good. We can do that till we both wake up.
This song never gets old. I feel like if a young person hear this, they're gonna know it's old just from the sound, because you know they didn't progress in production a little bit, but they should not even remaster this song. Fuck them. They just keep it how it is, because this song cuts through, bruh. The texture is I haven't heard a song like this that got this vibe right since this. Like no other song. And songs have tried and got close and things, but just because of the way they made the hook. They made the hook out of a sample, the beat, and then these guys' harmonizations. It's so simple, but like when you put simplicity in the right place, it becomes perfection. I don't know who helped them with this vibe, but I listened to other Color Me Bad records and it's not like this. So don't think Color Me Bad just be doing this shit, because they definitely don't. Wow, I never heard of Essence. Like I think I've seen the name, but apparently this group is comprised of like I know Tina Marie is in it. Tina Marie is in this group. Shout out to Tina Marie and RIP to her. And some rapper who's killing this shit. I don't know who the rapper is. I don't think the rapper's Tina Marie, but they got a little dynamic group. You got Tina Marie and this chick who's spitting, because she's spitting like, who the fuck is this little MC? I never almost. It's almost like some disco shit. It's got a disco bop to it, but they kind of bring it into more of a '90s hip hop feel to it. So it's very dynamic of a record.
Back crash, Hollywood D laughing. Yo, we got Rich Look, Easy Lee, and a roster power on the mic. Time to get a present situation straight and legit, 'cause I must have skipped some shit. Yo, everybody wants a piece of peace, or a chance at least to see violence. See, check it out, brothers are still out to get you, trust me. Blind as a bat, in fact they must be searching for a way to escape from hell, and every minute they find themselves deeper in it.
FS Effect. Never heard this group. I'll be sure is involved with this group. I'm not sure if he's a part of them or if he just wrote for them or whatever. And this is where you learn like you can't just be too preachy, because it does turn you off a bit. But me, I listen to him. He's saying facts though. He's saying like some real shit. He really is. But I know that the most of y'all will hear this shit just be like, oh, he just coming right at you with the motherfucking, living your life as a child and proud and a cow and you wild and you now and you don't do, that type of shit. He could just come into at you. You just like, all right.
I the money hungry, seeking white man, fucking up our streets with pollution. Then lock a nigga up for the solution. Then they go again, picking on the little man. Fuck with the cartel or the white man. You understand me? Give me a fucking army, you understand me? Yeah? I take you off the fucking house.
So you got the Two Live Crew, and I ain't never heard the Two Live Crew do a socially aware song. Like I'm used to them just doing the booty rattlers and getting ratchet, getting right to it. So this is very different for me. I guess since they knew the project they was getting involved with, they was like, let me do something aware since this movie is so aware. Let me fucking, get in it with something. So I guess I get it. I don't need this from Two Live Crew though. I'm like, nah, I don't have to do it, but I do like to see groups do that. Like when they do that, like every rapper come in and say something on a conscious record. I always like to see how artists really do it, if they really put their passion into it. I think this soundtrack is actually as good as the movie because you hear a lot of these songs in the movie, man. It adds up. The soundtrack is just as good. It's 11 songs. It's concise. It's right to the point. And it's a couple surprises on here, and it's really a couple big hits on maybe 3 solid ass hits that will last to stand the time. It's New Jack City, man, and watch the movie because not only is the movie like dumb entertaining, it gives you the hood story, and it gives you the ending, and it gives you just like super real moments like that you connect with from any walk of life. Not just being from the hood, but if you're from the hood, it's a no-brainer. But if you're not from the hood, you're gonna learn some shit. Alright. So that's it, man. We out of here, man. Enjoy your weekend, do your thing, do your thug thesis.